Hold up. Wait a minute.
This is Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, and I shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah, you know I'm always shooting straight from the hip.
Let's take a trip around the curve. Hi everybody, how you doing? Oh, I can see everything in my little ring light. Oh my God, let me take those off. Because it's reflecting really badly. Hi, how you doing? So listen, I am running super behind today because I'm getting ready for the Super Bowl. But I'm so glad that you guys were able to join me. I know that Brandon is in here, so let me see what he had to say. Hi, Allison. How are you? Thank you, and welcome. Um, who else is in here? Jill. Hi, Jill. Hello. How you doing? And Brandon has lots of messages for me today. So what did he say? He says, I can't wait for animated movie trailers at the Super Bowl. Me either. And I heard that a sequel to Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius is in development at Paramount. That is true. And Smurfs 2025 looks fun. It does. You love Dogman. Great. And I can't wait for the Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up and Night of Zoopocalypse next. Me either. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you so very much. If you are new here, my name is Carla Renata. I'm the Curvy Film Critic. And what I do here is I talk about films, I review them, I talk about some awards every once in a while, and I give you some interviews. So today I have some really cool interviews. So in honor of the Super Bowl, I had an opportunity to speak with Dan Schachner. And Dan Schachner is the creator of the Puppy Bowl. And the Puppy Bowl is more my speed because if I'm being honest, honey, I know I'm from Missouri and I'm supposed to care about the Kansas City Chiefs, but I don't. I know I'm supposed to care about the Philadelphia Eagles, but I don't. And I know there's people that do, but I kind of don't. So, having said that, my speed and my jam is more about the Puppy Bowl. So, having said that, I spoke with Dan Schachner, and he told me about how he got that job and all of that. So before I play this interview with Dan Schachner, give me a big thumbs up to let me know you were here. Click that bell for notifications so that you can subscribe to the channel and see who I see and talk to who I talk to. All right. So I'm gonna make this fast and furious, y'all, because we got a lot going on. So that we gonna do all the things. I'm gonna get into a little Sundance Film Festival a little later. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Companion. I'm gonna talk about Z Suite. I believe I talked about You're Cordially Invited, but if I didn't, I will talk about that briefly, and then we're gonna get into the Puppy Bowl. But right now, we're gonna get into the Puppy Bowl with Dan Schachner. So take a look and a listen to this interview about the Puppy Bowl. I'd like to know from you is I read in your bio that you got fired, that this all came about as a result of you being fired by the NFL. Is
Yeah,
that
I was
right?
too soft on the players, you know. They would score a touchdown and I'd want to celebrate with them, you know, and want to, pat them down, celebrate. But the skills of me being soft on players in the NFL translates really well to animals because with puppies, all you want to do is celebrate. All you want to do is have fun and kind of relish in the moment a little bit more. So if you watch Puppy Bowl, like every time a dog scores a touchdown, we pick them up, we cuddle them, we give them a kiss, we rub their belly, give them a treat, just to showcase the love. And of course, give them a little shine because we want them to get adopted.
It makes me laugh so much. The commentary makes me laugh more than anything else because some of the dogs, some of them are very rambunctious, and others of them kind of are just like, yeah, I'm here and I'm not doing it. I'm not
A
doing
lot of them will just lay
it.
down and take a nap, and we have to give them a penalty for wallflowering or, excessive slumbering.
If that are you the one that's doing the commentary as well?
No, the announcers, you mean? No, that's Steve Levy. It's a couple of like professional NFL announcers. Yeah. But
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was you, and I was like, the commentary is even funnier than the puppies. How has this translated into your dog rescuing and fostering efforts as well?
It very much goes hand in hand. So, I mean, look, this year we're featuring 80 different shelters, so it's hard to keep track of all of them, but it's amazing how many we're featuring. When I first started this job 14 years ago, I think maybe we had like 30, maybe 20 shelters. So it was a little easier to sort of keep track of everything. But what it's done is it's introduced me to the world of rescue, the world of adoption, pet adoption. And it is such a wonderful community, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you know, the way they say like shop local, stay local with your rescue. Anytime somebody's thinking about getting a dog, I'm like, just go to your local rescue center, your shelter, your ASPCA, whatever's in your neighborhood, a place that you can return to and get
Mm-hmm.
to know them. And if there's no dog there now, that's okay. Fill out an application, see what's going on. Maybe there'll be somebody for you in a few weeks, few months. Return to the place, see who's available, because it's usually the ones in our backyard that are in the most in need. So it has really turned me on to what I live in New York City. So of course I got a million different shelters and rescues. So I've
Of
learned all of
course.
them. And it's, yeah, I've fostered dogs for many, many years. It's been really gratifying. And I adopted one too, so it's been great.
Oh, what kind did you adopt?
I adopted some little poodle mix that was rejected by a disreputable breeder for having a bad knees, bad legs. So her back hind leg, she can't walk very well on it. So the breeder said, we can't sell her. So they were ready to just completely reject her.
No.
A shelter, and often these breeders, when they reject a dog, it's a pretty sad fate. So thankfully, a rescue called Phoenix Animal Rescue stepped in and they scooped her up and I connected her with me. And yeah, the rest is history.
What's her name?
Her name is Poppy, Papi, the Latin version of Poppy.
I love that. I love that so much. My dog's name was Spanky, like from the
I
little
love that
movie.
name.
His name was Spanky. He was a mess. I loved that dog.
I love the name Spanky.
He was
Oh,
hilarious. That dog had more attitude than any dog is ever allowed to have. He was so funny, but he was super, super smart. Super.
oh. What kind of breed mix was he or mix?
He was a Maltese.
Oh, they are
He was a
smart.
full.
Yeah.
He was a full-blooded Maltese, and he was the funniest thing. He would at 10 o'clock at night. He would start heading up the stairs, and he would bark at me and look at me like, Are you coming?"
Right. They, they're creatures of habit. They really are. They thrive in habit, right?
He was hilarious. Yes, absolutely. What was the craziest moment that you've had in the 14 years of doing Puppy Bowl? And what was the moment where it just, your heart just broke in a million pieces?
Back in the older generation of Puppy Bowl, I wore these knee-high socks, these like white roll-up socks that go all the way up to your knees. And a dog named Ginger in Puppy Bowl 10 rolled, like ripped, not just rolled, ripped off my sock in the middle of the game. But like all the way down. Bare skin was exposed. The sock was not salvageable. We had to stop. I changed clothes, everything. That I was like, how do you even what kind of penalty do you call for that? So that was that was definitely a moment I'll never forget. Um, Heartbreaking. Thankfully, honestly, there's been no heartbreaking, and I mean that sincerely. It's only been full hearts, but not sad hearts. Because all these dogs do get adopted. If ever one of our dogs, we have 100% adoption, you know, rate here at Puppy Bowl. If ever a dog didn't find a home, then I guess my heart would break. But I'm happy to say in 14 years of doing this, they've all found a forever home at the end of Puppy Bowl, which is amazing.
And one last question. How does the adoption process happen before we see Puppy Bowl, or does it happen during, or does it happen after?
All of it, everything you said, before, during, and after. So, like right now, because we release our starting lineups ahead of time, you can go to puppybowl.com and see all the pups that are involved in Puppy Bowl. And if you want that Puppy Bowl, that puppy now, we're not going to stop you. We're not going to say wait until game day. You can adopt that dog now. That's okay. You know, you'll still see them on the Puppy Bowl. So that's the before. During, absolutely. People get excited. They call up. Well, they don't call, but they go to puppybowl.com and say, I want that dog I just saw scoring a touchdown. It connects you to the shelter. You can adopt there. And if we ever, which is rare, have dogs that after Puppy Bowl's done airing are still available, those get adopted within days. So it's pretty satisfying to watch.
Let me tell you something. Puppy Bowl is pretty satisfying to watch, and it is my go-to thing because I'm not a big football fan, but I am a Puppy Bowl fan. I live for this every year, my mother and I, we will be watching yet again. And I'm so happy that I had an opportunity to chat with you about it, because I always wondered how it came about, how it came together, like where did the idea come from? And now I know, and I'm so much more excited to watch it now.
So nice of you to say. Are you rooting for any one team in particular, Ruff or Fluff, or you just want them all?
I kind of go with the day.
Yeah.
I look at who's on the teams, and I'm like, and I see how they kind of navigate on the field and kind of make up my mind. But I mostly just watch it for the entertainment.
I know it is. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's the best. It's the most relaxing way to spend the afternoon, I think.
It really is. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Dan. I really do appreciate you taking time for me today.
You too, Carla. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Adopt a puppy, you can go to puppybowl.com and get a puppy there. I'll put the link up again. If you are in the market to adopt a puppy, you can go to puppybowl.com. I think they put the Puppy Bowl on repeat, and it airs on a variety of different channels. Discovery Channel is the main one where you can find it, and I'm sure it's on repeat now. So you can check that out there. What are y'all saying in this chat room? Chris Gore, you were cracking me up. You said you can't believe it's award season. We won't see each other until next October. And I said, oh, we'll see each other before then, right? And you're like, we will. And then he said, enjoy the Puppy Bowl. Got to watch the game. All right. See you later. Have a good time. All right. So that is that. So again, you guys, www.puppybowl.com if you are in the market for a little cute puppy. Having said that, I saw this. A friend of mine, Nico Santos, who was on Superstore with me, has a new show on Tubi called Z Suite, and it is the first scripted television show on the Tubi channel, and it stars himself and Lauren Graham. And I talked to the entire cast about that, so I'm gonna play that interview for you. I'm going fast and furious because I want it all to get out before the Super Bowl starts in a little bit. Okay, so listen to this interview. Take a look and listen to this interview with Z Suite. Where did this come from? Did you work in advertising or PR?
No, I didn't. I did not work in advertising or PR. How this idea came about was Tubi was looking to do their first scripted series, and they were sort of floating around this idea of a workplace comedy and exploring different generations. And an ad agency just seemed like the natural fit. And so it was interesting because I brought on a lot of ad consultants throughout this process. I hired one to help me sort of like write the pilot and have eyes on it to be like, what is true to this world, what is not. And then in the writer's room, we had an ad consultant come on board. So it was a lot of research. And it's interesting, actually, in researching all of it, I was like, oh, maybe in another life I could have worked in advertising. It's a fascinating industry that I sort of became obsessed with. But that's really how it came about. There's no personal experience, just admiration.
What would you say was the most surprising thing that you found out during your research for the show about the world of advertising? Because there's that one moment where you have Lauren giving a little mini monologue about the Marlboro campaign and the filters and how all of that was infiltrated by a woman.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So I was like, ooh, that was good intel.
Yeah, that was really good intel. I would say I was most surprised by how curated and sort of calculated advertising can be, or how much research goes into campaigns. You know, we see a 30-second or 15-second, piece of advertising or commercial, and how much work goes into that, the research, the data. That was fascinating to me. I did not know any of that, so I gobbled all of that up. I found that really interesting. Honey, y'all gave me y'all had me dying, literally out loud, just laughing out loud. I had so much fun. But what I want to know is, as journalists, we have to pitch ourselves all the time. We are constantly having to pitch why someone should allow us to interview talent as yourself. I want to know from each one of you, if you were going to pitch yourself, what would that sound like?
I am adaptable. I rise to challenges. I am easy to get along with, and you don't see a lot of non-binary, plus-sized people on TV. So put me in.
Amen.
I love that. Okay, Madison.
I can't beat that, so I'll just say that I'm hardworking, I'm a good leader, and I come off book, on time, and prepared.
All right.
I would say I am friendly. I can make friends with a rock.
Yep.
And I will make sure that rock feels so seen and heard.
Go off, Rob.
I will cater to it and make sure it shines in its own way. I won't upstage you, baby.
Well, all right for not upstaging a rock.
You're doing the mood.
I'm kind, I'm moldable, directable, and affordable.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy.
See, the thing is, Doug is not confident, so he doesn't feel his power unless Monica's near him. So he would probably just biff it if he had to pitch himself.
I think the pitch is something like nobody works harder than we do, but that doesn't always mean that, hard work and creativity don't always go hand in hand. We offer the best of both worlds. We have a vision for your company, and we are going to take you farther than you've even imagined you can go. And we're not going to stop until we get you to where you want to be.
Then Doug will say what she said.
Have you ever been in a situation where you thought you pressed the record button only to figure out that you didn't, like Doug does in one of the episodes? I hollered out loud because I remember being on the end of that terrifying moment, and it did not work out well for me.
Well,
It doesn't work out well for me either.
one of my first jobs was I worked at a call center for this fancy shoe catalog, and there was this lady just taking a long time ordering, and I pushed the mute button, thinking that it would mute the conversation, and I proceeded to cuss her out for about 2 minutes, and then she had to be like, I heard every single word. And then I crawled into a hole and had to go answer to the owner of the company.
How much did y'all freak out when TikTok went dark for 12 hours?
I didn't
even care.
I didn't care. I'm a gamer, so I was playing games.
I was happy, and then it came back, and I was sad.
You were happy? Genuinely? Like that?
I was relieved. I was like, this is
full
good for
turkey
me.
addiction?
It was it's like cigarettes or something.
Sure.
This made me laugh too. How many times have you been on a call and the signal, and you pretended that the signal was sketchy because you just wanted to get off the phone with whoever that person was?
Oh, I do that. I've done
All the
that
time.
multiple times, but with my friends, not anything important, but it's like, girl, I can't hear. And I will be like, gotta go, and they know I'm lying, but I will do it because I'm like, girl, you're yapping about the same thing. Let's move the conversation.
Leave him.
Marvel Rivals.
Exactly.
Only as a character on Gilmore Girls, I once did that to my mother. There's a scene where I go, oh, I can't hear you.
I mean, I wouldn't even pretend. I would just hang up the phone. And then if they call back, we're like, oh, sorry, the call dropped.
Are y'all, and have you been, a lot more tech savvy before Z Suite and after Z Suite?
Maybe I'm on my phone more because I'm making stories about watching Z Suite February 6th only on Tubi.
Social media, girl, you've known me for a long time.
On social media, it's not happening.
Honey, it takes me 3 hours to create a reel.
Me too. I am so afraid of Barbara Streisanding myself and sending a thing that I think is private and it's not. And no, social media is a nightmare.
When you showed up on set the first day, who was that person that you were made you feel like this is going to be fun?
Nico. Oh.
Nico?
That's
honor for me.
Spencer had a crazy good welcoming energy, and I thought that was super helpful because he didn't he really made, I don't know if you actively did this, but you really made it feel very
homey and everything amongst, like, there was no cliques, which sometimes there can be in the cast, and I do credit you for playing a big role in that.
Thank you. I try to make everyone feel seen and heard, and I like working with
Like a rock.
Yeah,
One might
you know,
say.
this is the rock that I became friends with.
Which would be a good place to end. I actually worked with Nico on Superstore, so I can understand why he had welcoming energy for you. But that's my time, y'all.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
So nice
Thanks,
to meet you.
And I hope the show does really, really well.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Lauren, I love the fact that in Z Suite, the agency is run by you, and then your younger cohort kind of takes over. But I love the fact that this is an agency that's run by women. And then Monica decides, oh, but I'm not beat yet because I'm going to run over here and start my own thing. How empowering has it been for you to do, just to portray that? Because we're living in a world right now where those things are being challenged.
It's very empowering, and I guess important to me too was that, yes, we're in competition, but I'm also not out to necessarily get this other woman, even though, you know, it's not her fault that she got this opportunity, but it is her fault if she doesn't take advantage of it and understand the role she's been given and the opportunity she's been given. So we tried to really play with that. You know, we don't want this to be like women not rooting for one another. It's just, I'm mad because she got my job, and, you know, it was unfair. But yeah, I love the way, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, snark and fun in the show, but there's a lot of kindness and kind of heart to it too. And I love that the creator of the show is a woman who's really smart and, you know, young, and it's just, the whole package just felt like a really cool next step, you know, into some things I've kind of done before, but some things I haven't. And I loved our team.
Before I go though, Nico, I love the little mini Superstore reunion with you and Mark. I loved that.
Wasn't that great? I'm so glad he was able to do it.
It's kind of fantabulous. Thank y'all for your time today. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on the show. It was super funny.
Thank you so much. You win best background.
I know. I love it.
it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you, Miss Lauren and Nico. Why did that? I'm having issues with my composition today. Anywho, thank you, Miss Lauren and Nico and the rest of the cast of Z Suite, which is streaming right now on the Tubi channel. So again, you guys, I talked about these movies. We're talking about the Z Suite. We're going to talk about Companion. I'm going to do a brief recap of Sundance and the Critics' Choice Awards, and check out the Puppy Bowl. Check out the Puppy Bowl. All right, here we go. So at Sundance, one of the films I told you guys about is called Deaf President Now, about Gallaudet not having a deaf president for over 124 years, and they finally got one. He was there for 18 years, and they now have a deaf president. It won an award at Sundance, and I'm looking forward to that documentary coming out. Again, it is called Deaf President Now. At the Critics' Choice Awards, Demi Moore and Zoe Saldana have kept their winning streak, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when we get to the Oscars and a couple of other awards that we have left, like the SAG Awards going into the Oscars in March. One of the surprise wins of the night was John M. Chu, who is the director of Wicked. Wicked also took home a bunch of other prizes in some other categories, including Best Costume Design for Paul Tazwell and Best Production Design for Nathan Crowley, in addition to John Chu. Conclave got the Best Acting Ensemble Award, and this was my ensemble at the Critics' Choice Awards. That was before the awards started. This was on the red carpet, or the black carpet, to be in solidarity with the wildfires that we've had. And one of the other surprise wins of the evening was Kathy Bates in the Best Acting category, female in television. She has a show on Netflix. It's on NBC. She has a show on Netflix. She has a show called Matlock on NBC, and she is crushing it. And I just want to reiterate what I said, that talent does not have an age expiration. And a lot of these older dolls, the Demis, the Nicole Kidmans, the Angelina Jolies, they're really having a moment right now. I would be remiss in not shouting out this young man, Mr. Ramel Ross, who won the Outstanding Director Achievement Award at the DGA last night. The DGA and the PGA had all of their awards, and Honora seemed to be the surprise winner at a bunch of those particular awards shows. So that was interesting to watch. There we go. I was like, what is going on with my composition? It's not happening. So yeah, but now we're going to talk a little bit. And if you want to see anything about my Sundance coverage, you can go to my site, thecurvyfilmcritic.com. All of my reviews in accordance to Sundance 2025 are there, including some ones that I did and did not talk about on the channel. Okay, cool. Now we're going to talk a little bit about a movie called Companion. Companion is a horror film. It's a horror film. It is produced by Warner Brothers, and it is crazy. It deals with a robot that is the companion of a man, and he decides that he no longer wants this particular companion. He wants to trade her in for a new model, and she's having none of it. So I got an opportunity to speak with the cast and the director, Drew, about Companion. And so take a look and a listen to that interview, and I'll say a little bit more about it when I come back. Honey, when I tell you I had emotional whiplash watching this movie, I do not exaggerate. Oh my goodness, and y'all were all so good.
Oh, thank you.
So good. What I'd like to know though is, have you ever had a friend who was involved with somebody that you just was like, no, not feeling it? And how did you navigate your feelings as to not jeopardize the friendship? And we'll start with ladies first.
Yes, and I think that I like to think, especially my female friendships, we're all strong enough to where we value each other's opinions, and so even if I don't like somebody, I don't feel like my opinion's going to get in the way of my girl pursuing what she wants to do, and it's certainly not going to deter her from her path either, but I'm not going to just sit either and watch somebody get treated in a way that I'm not happy with. So, but no, 100%, and I think that we all have to go through those at some point in our lives to grow and find our own path and what works for us and what we like and what we need from a partner. So as much as they suck, sometimes you just got to sit back and let your friend go through it so they can grow from it.
Absolutely. Harvey? Because I saw you pointing.
Yes, because I think we were both in relationships when we started doing this film, and we were talking about it, and then you just hear things that you're like, oh, interesting, and you care about your friends. And aside from our friendship that we made on this movie, you never, your friends want to look out for you and they want the best for you all the time. And there's red flags, and sometimes you're hypnotized. You're like, I was gonna use another word. That's another phrase I don't like to say. It was a joke because it was one of my favorite status was Monique, and she was like, sometimes be dickmatized.
We was trying to skirt around it, and you just went right in.
And I think sometimes you need to have your friends tell you like, hey, that doesn't sound that. I don't like the way and then you end up realizing you're dating a covert narcissist. It's just stuff like that you just didn't know because you can't see it. You can't see it when you're in it because you're in love. You're in this cloud. And love is blind, and you need to have somebody be like, hey. Just I'm seeing like little things and this that look familiar from past or maybe friendships that I've seen and whatnot.
Do you have anything to add, Lucas?
I think that if you just get the ick from them, you gotta let your friend to figure it out on their own. You gotta let them work through it. But if they're doing anything that's like overtly problematic, you gotta tell them. But if you just don't like them, they gotta figure it out on their own. I think people can also overly get involved with other people's of their friends' relationships where there needs to be separation. But I would have told you some things.
Oh God, yeah. You have to
think of anything specific.
You have to keep it to yourself though, because I've also been the guy in the relationship that all my friends are like, "Why is he in that?" And there was a. This is the past, but this is not now. I love her. She's great. But there is a thing where like you do have to kind of keep it to yourself because I think that you have to come to that on your own. In a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Obviously, your friends are going to be there.
You can't be tainted by other people.
And then obviously your friends are going to be there to have your back no matter what, and make sure you're okay.
And then finally you can be like, I told you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not I told
no.
you, but I will like.
Yeah, no,
It's
they
hard.
They have to come to it themselves, or else
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Then they'll kind of go against you in some way. 'Cause I've
Yes,
been there too.
and I've been
Where
there
I've been
too.
like, oh, my friends don't like my life, and I'm mad at them, and it's like, no, you.
Tricky question.
It's a tricky situation.
It is tricky.
Great question. I didn't handle it the way Kat did. I was a little more nuanced in my approach. But yeah, you have those, significant others for people that you care about, and you see that it's like they're maybe not in the right relationship, and you just kind of have to gently coax them into you can't ever make any decisions for someone else, but you can. There are polite ways to let them know that you don't approve. Yeah.
Do you think that this is like possibly it could be like the next wave of past online dating? Because we went from like going to bars and barbecues and people's events at their homes to potentially meeting someone that you would date, to now being in online dating, which is to me is very impersonal, to now we possibly might have a situation like this where you are able to implant memories. Do you feel like that might be a thing?
That could be a thing, and immediately I'm like, oh, you can make a whole movie about implanted memories, and yeah, that's a very ripe sci-fi. I don't want to steal it from you, but maybe you could go write that version.
Oh,
of that
I won't
movie.
be writing it. Knock yourself out, Drew. It will be your second hit movie.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, that's a scary future, and I think there's a lot of big questions with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me exactly where this idea came from, because I'm watching this and I'm like, wow, that's an imagination right there.
Thank you very much.
A very diabolically genius imagination,
thank you very
but
much.
an imagination nonetheless.
Thank you. Yeah. So every project's different. You never know where an idea will come from. Sometimes it could be like a visual and like an image or a character or a scene. But this one, I don't know where it came from, but just the whole idea just fully baked popped into my head, and I had this idea of 3 couples go to a cabin in the middle of the woods. One of them finds out that they're a robot, and then just things go haywire and people get picked off one at a time. My initial instinct, though, was to make her the bad guy. I just thought, okay, well, it's a robot gone rogue. It's got to be you obviously got to see the point of view from the human characters. But as I'm writing it, I'm realizing we're relating more with the robot than I am with the humans, and suddenly it became an exercise in, can I tell this story where the most empathetic character is actually the character that's not human? And that's when it became fun, and I recognized that, okay, this is something that might be fresh and interesting and not been done before. And I'm glad I did that too, because 6 months after I finished the script, Megan came out. So I'm so glad I didn't do AI Gone Wrong.
So if you guys could implant a memory in your boo about you, about y'all's relationship, what kind of memory would it be? I know what I would implant.
What would you implant?
Oh, child, would be the most beautiful thing, walking.
Yeah, well, you are.
All day, every day.
You are. You don't need that memory implanted.
That is
It's reality.
Well, thank you. I received
That is
that.
reality.
I received that.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first this time.
I think it would be the moment that we both knew that we were perfect, with each other. That moment that we both, that moment when you're with somebody, you're like, oh, this is my person. I think those memories are rare because it's a feeling that you feel, and it's internal, that you're like, oh, there's that feeling that it's rare and it comes few and far between. So when you do feel it, you want to capture it and put it into someone's memory bank.
Look at you. Come on, Lucas.
Yeah.
I would implant a night in Paris, a night in Vegas that just
because you've done that.
They've done that. they've never been the same since, if you know what I mean.
Moving on to the ladies. We gonna get segue over that word.
I can start to implant some memories.
Something else in your
And we're gonna let the lady close it out.
No, I think literally. I let him know what's going on in Lucas's brain so I can implant some of mine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just kind of be a little bit of a loser and steal off of what what all of you guys said, actually.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience.
I guess it would be to implant something comforting that person could use in situations where they're feeling stressed out. They could just give them a button you can press that can, you just go into meditation mode, like a sunset or something beautiful. Yeah.
Me and my boyfriend would go to Ojai and ride bikes around Ojai, and it was the most
innocent
Yeah.
thing in the world, and I just felt like a child, and it was just like such a peak of my life. Riding around, seeing horses everywhere. It
Yeah.
felt like very corny and very amazing.
I love that.
Wait, but this is a real memory you have.
Oh, this is a real memory?
No, that's
real.
memory.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a real memory, yeah.
And you would implant
You
it.
would implant
okay.
that.
I basically just went on I haven't been on vacation in like forever, and I
Yeah,
just
'cause
went
he's been booked and
to.
busy.
Well, it's been nice, but I went to. Oh my God! I went to with my partner. We went to Amsterdam and then Mallorca, and then Rome. It was like
Wow.
the greatest. It was just
Okay.
like I hadn't been on vacation in like I don't know. Just because I wasn't really thinking about travel in any way, which was a huge mistake. And for like 10 years, I just didn't go anywhere unless I was working, which is not really traveling.
Nope, this is not vacation.
So that was magical. And we both
Aw.
just had such a great time and just be able to relax in such beautiful places. And it was just wonderful.
Love that for you, that you
Yeah.
finally decided you
Yeah,
needed to
we
go and have
went on a little
time.
boat ride in Mallorca, and it was like, this is the greatest moment of my life. This is gorgeous. Yeah, and to do it together with her was wonderful.
I love that.
No, but the best friends are honest with you. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Honesty is the best policy in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that brings me to my time. I enjoy y'all
Oh.
in everything that you do, and I'm looking forward to so much more from both of you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for
So
giving me a
much.
slice of your time.
Oh my God! Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You're wonderful. It's so good to see you again. It was
Thank you.
so long ago that we
I
left an
appreciate
interview.
it. It was,
Yeah.
but it won't be next time, right?
Oh yeah, no, hell no.
Okay.
No, no, no. Bye.
Thank you, Jack and Sophie and Harvey and Lucas and everybody and Drew for letting me speak to you regarding Companion the movie. I'm so silly. Anywho, just to reiterate real quick before I bounce, these are the films that I talked about. I spoke about Companion. It is a Warner Brothers Pictures film directed by Drew Hancock. It is in theaters right now. You can go to Sundance.org to catch the recaps of the Sundance Film Festival. You can also go to my site, thecurvyfilmcritic.com, to see the reviews that I have there. And of course, go to Tubi to check out Z Suite with my boy Nico Santos. And the Puppy Bowl is on the Discovery Channel right now. Check it out. Check it out. It is so much fun. You will really enjoy it. I promise you. So having said that, it is just about time for that Super Bowl. It's about that Super Bowl hour. I'm about to go get me some wings and get my grubby grub on with my family. I hope you have a nice Super Bowl Sunday. And again, if you are not one of the ones that could care less about football, go over to the Discovery Channel and watch the Puppy Bowl. I will be back next week with some more film reviews and some more interviews. In the coming weeks, I will have Natasha Rothwell from The White Lotus, among others. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a big thumbs up. Sorry I didn't have the face beat, but honey, why am I going to be my face to watch football? Watch football. Watch the puppies on TV. I don't need to be my face for that. And I'm a little hungover from the Critics' Choice Awards. If I'm being completely honest. And I know that was that 2 days? That was 2 days ago, but you know, hey, a sister needs time to heal. Let me check my comments to make sure there's nobody else saying anything. All right. So I want to thank Allison, Chris, Brandon, and somebody else was up in here. Who was it? And Jill. Thank you guys so much for popping by and saying hello. I love you so much. Love, peace, and hair grease. Until the next time. Bye. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up. Wait a minute. I messed up. Okay. I did. That was a fake out goodbye. All right. Let me do the real goodbye. Oh my God. I'm so ghetto and so unprofessional today. All right. Here we go. I'm going to do the real goodbye. Love, peace, and hair grease. Until next time. Love you and deuces.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I wish you love.